welcome back to the Koranian series. The Karian series, Ytarimypoy, whatever you want to call it. This series, this part of it now, that it's been rather an unfortunate one, because in the previous episode everything was just, so much chaos. We've lost Baruka, which is now renamed Aksu again, and also had an internal conflict against my sisters, Maya and Arya-Kose, as Sari, who is now 30 and just recently married, had quite a bit of a troubling reign, I would say. That she thought she was going to be one of those mighty warrior yakas, for the lack of a better term, as she is now serves under a different liege. No longer she serves the Idikot, she serves the Vre now. So she now serves the Havamna, in which at least it looks at us a little more positively these days, as I give him some respect, and we recently paid tribute to him. We paid our homage to him, as well as we paid him in gold. 50 gold, in fact. And that further increases our dynasty's renown. And speaking of our dynasty, it's something we ought to deal with. Brother, you are a monk, you should not be in a dungeon. Instead, you're coming back home. For what purpose? We don't know. It might be of some use to you. Not so much for you. And as for you, half-sister, but first, let's wait a couple days. Go for defensive measures. Unlock purchase truce, which allowing truces to be bought preemptively. Which means if you feel threatened by somebody, it would be wise to spend your money or something to get a truce going. And then there'll be no golden obligations. I'm not here to blackmail people. No, I'm not that kind of person. I'm far more virtuous than that. But this will help for defensive wars with the higher fort level. So we will go for this and a bit of this, because I would like to have children. Thanks to the scroll of India and me being gregarious. So it'll still take you 3 years, but every little bit helps. I like to befriend some people sooner or later. And of course what we mean by that is that knowing I'm about to revoke another title off of my sister. Because I was thinking Kuśiññe, where it's most developed, but you know, I never really invest in that territory. But if you are to hold her, the diplomacy and stewardship and the piety you have, versus Kumtag, where it's not so developed, and that land's in debt. So I think it would be wise to revoke that title off of her. Yes, it's going to cause some tyranny. Some of my courtiers won't like that. So now we're officially rivals because of this. And I could revoke one more title off of her, but it'll cause even more tyranny. So we don't need to make these people mad any more than it needs to be. I know Maya is mad. It'll take a couple of years to get over it. We'll deal with you soon. In fact, there is a way to deal with her. I don't care about vassal opinion losses. I know who my vassals are exactly. In a couple of years' time, we're going to have to deal with you, as I have a legitimate claim on, well, soon to have a legitimate claim on Notable. Can't get rid of my sister because of who she is. Fourth Gao Chang, the Jewel War for Beshbalik. Again, it's none of our business anymore what happens up there. I'm more interested in starting a family. But I'll tell you what else I'm more interested in. Just to continue to pay another form of tribute, as we did in the last episode. I am going to send him a gift of skilled Kuśiññe dancers, since you do own that province. He'll be happy with this. And it'll gain a little more renown, just for us. When a powerful Yapka like myself wants to make a great impression on a member of the elite, a basic gift of silk, gold, or other luxuries must suffice. After all, I rule over Kuśiññe, a famed city of pleasure and leisure. There's even a greater gift I can give. Across the processed lands of Eurasia and the so-called Silk Road, it is common for elites to gift entertainers like musicians, dancers, acrobats, and even beautiful slaves and courtesans to give further visual and even pleasurable twists to entertainment. Kuśiññe, in particular, is famed for such entertainment throughout the Silk Road. I decided to present Red Dharma a troop of skilled entertainers and slaves from Kuśiññe. They will become part of his court and serve him well for years to come. A gesture of diplomatic goodwill to Dharma. Glory is widely known. Reading in Miran. It looked like it would be a tedious scene once the feast ends over, but Padatsina saved the day by suggesting reading from riddle poems. I also love that one. Are you the heir to anything? No, just some courtier. But you are a member of that dynasty. Ah, you're the Rez's brother. I see. But keep in mind, I understand his language, so at least I was able to put Easterani into use. Should move our capital back home. Manahara will be proud. Regardless if it's a daughter or a son, I will have a child that I will cast my vote for. You'll do. Just needed a point of seneschal because every little bit helps. Yeah. Essential proposal. Wherever I go, the son of Resimha Vijaya is sure to fall. The looks in his eyes, his words on lips. I know exactly what he is after. Don't you know that I'm pregnant? You know, both of our Buddhist faiths dislikes adultery, so I will say never. The world will know of his perverted nature. You will never seduce me again. I'm gonna be a good mother. And a good Buddhist, too. Social manipulation. The first time it happened, I barely gave it a moment's notice thought, but my vassal, Rinmoka Vajrapati, has grown bolder. Her challenges no longer pass unnoticed among my vassals. She's testing my limits. Others are sure to follow unless I give it a taste of Rome medicine. Actually, you're better than my... I will gain a bit of that nonetheless. So let's see. She's an insane paragon. She's a lunatic. I will say, I will ignore and steal her ideas. I failed to manipulate her. Okay, you'll have your job. I'm not giving it to Maya. Maya will be dealt with sooner or later. How much is it for this? 191. I've talked to countless mothers and midwives, taken advice to heart. Yet when my time arrived, I realized that no amount of preparation could ever be enough. The pains were all consuming and I feared for my life, but I made it through. Now I have a perfect little son. What will you become, my child? What should I call you? Since you'll be the one who is hale and intelligent. Excellent. Think of a very good name. Ajatasattu. Ajatasattu, yeah. I like the name. Ajatasattu. That's how you say that. I guess it's a Tocharian spelling of that original name that's down in India, which I believe they're still down there, right? The Ajatasattu dynasty? Yes, the Ajatasattu. That's how it's normally spelled down there. And my son, this is the variant of that. The Tocharian variant of that spelling. Kuśiññe. So someone who is intelligent, so you have my vote. Half-brother Dharmadase. May your journey be swift and safe. You are now a wandering bhikkhu. Spread the gospel. Spread the love of the Buddha. As I said before, we don't have to deal with that anymore. Well, you really developed this area, have you? Recently constructed a small kanat up there. Mahayana Buddhist, this area now. But still Manichaean there. But I'm more interested in getting the claims to get these lands back. She finally got married to some lowborn Tocharian. She's already pregnant. Well, congratulations, but I want all of this back. So, 1, 2, 3. And you have all 6. And I would love to get Aksu back, Baruka back, and then advance up to Karasha. But we must unite the lands first, before we advance upwards. Because it's how everything works. More control means more money and more levies, so need to get all this together. Again, was gonna continue on to city planning, which gives us the ability to build cities and temples, but you know they're very expensive to build, you know? So, that's why I changed my mind and go for cash supply instead. It's a Liberty War. It's none of our business. Oh no, they're intervening somebody's Liberty War. Okay. It's not against my liege, otherwise I would have been called for. Two dukes. Oh hey! I didn't know. Oh, matrilineally married. Poor you. Loyalty or fear? As a Yapka, my vassals owe me their allegiance. My word is law. But how much obedience without devotion is worth? In times of crisis, a slow response or a half-hearted effort can lead to disaster. Can I afford such a risk? I have more important men to impress. In fact, his opinion's high enough where I could petition my liege for something that I would like to have. Bestowed claim title of vassal. Grant you a claim title, not a vassal. You know, the one with, God dang it, what is it called? Baruka, yeah. Could have that. Or raise county control. You know, I want that land back, so you better give it to me. I'm escorted in Red Dharma's throne where he beckons me to approach address him. I deftly present the evidence of my claim to Baruka, as you call Aksu, Rida, and highlight its strength over that of the Kashi ruler that you have there named Presanda. Shabanok Presanda. After listening to the speech, he smiles warmly and states, "Absolutely, vassal. I shall dispatch my agent immediately to take care of this matter." "Thank you, my liege." To him, this is an act of tyranny. He just gives it to me right then and there. But we get a bit of renown for this. So I got it back. I had to make him like me enough, so I gave him all that tribute, all the money, all the beautiful Kuśiññe women, and then, and this is more important, it's did a diplomatic way. See? That's why my father chose me over those two sisters. Those sisters of mine would have been, I don't know, they're both wrongful people. In fact, you're going to be the first person that I'm going to befriend whenever I get this one first. And yeah, the control's knocked down a bit, but hey, chief in control. This county suffers a harsh tension in the realm's marshal. Clearly, that previous owner had not been too kind. And I'm sure he's mad at me. Like, if you want it back, well then. No chances accepted, because he has personal claims on land and all that. Roughly equal in strength. Well, I guess that means we have this temple again. In this city. Bleeder and Lover's Fox. Terrified soul, she won't do anything to me. So we got Baruka back after negotiations, liege. So that's the reason why I said in the previous episode I would feel more happy to be living under Sakan rule rather than Manichaean rule. I mean, yes, they're Buddhists of a different kind, as there's a slight penalty of, you know, astray, but modified by doctrines. Because we are a lot alike than they are different. They're more into asceticism and mendicant preachers. Ours, We're more into monasticism and literalism. So we're not really ascetics. We're not into that strict asceticism sort of thing. May debate other lords on cost of opinion to gain or lose piety. You know, my sisters. Among the nomad peoples of Eurasia, there are stories of an immortal horse forever racing across the great steppes, free and bold, galloping a mighty steed so it sound like thunder. It is faster than anyone could see. Maybe one day I shall see it. Curious for about a year. Every little bit helps. Maybe one day I'll see it. See? Every little bit helps. Yeah, you may call me a tyrant, but... well, what is it? Not that kind of Buddhism, and not that kind of culture. I'm sorry, but I'll tell you what. We'll talk a little bit more. I love my new liege. Unlocks the challenge to board game interactions, allow to play friendly games with other characters. Like who? You can challenge the board game, but friendly game, wager, fortune. I see. And it's stress related. Interesting. I'll probably put myself to the test on this. Now, listen. What? 1%. Shy dislikes gregarious. Oh, and he's a drunk too and doesn't like temperament. He's a bit shy. Okay. He's a shy person. I didn't know. I'm sorry. But it would be wise to befriend your spy master. He's not intimidated by me. And after we befriend, wanna play a board game later? Happy to get more tax now. And I'll be sure to... Did you just switch another court language? What's going on over there? The core language is Magdi. That is the language of Magad, of the Magad region, spoken by the Bengali. So the Magdi language is spoken by the Bengali, and the Oryade, and the Kamarupa culture. Thought I was going to have to work to make Lin like me, but he has turned out to be the friendliest person I know. Lin has told me there's always room by his heart for new acquaintances. I'm not that stressful, so I will not say no to that kind of invitation, so we gain some progress. So it's the East Indo-Iranians, no, excuse me, Indo-Aryans that speaks the Magdi language. From there, and now it's being introduced over here. But that's not a language that I would know. No need to know that one. Again, this is wonderful. I got it back after talking to him, even though he's a shy person. But still. I didn't know that you've been marrying Indian women. I've been paying a little attention to, like, who's your what regarding cultures and their origin. I'm saving up my money to patronize the Malgao Cave. It seems like every one of our rulers should do this, since this is once a lifetime, and it helps with the renown game. Attentive care. Thank you very much. Can't say I blame her. Oh, and she's about to die. She's become a lunatic and she's wounded. She's getting herself... Oh my goodness, her stress is level 3. I never put her in the dungeon. That woman's trying to kill herself. At least he's a Theravada Buddhist now. But he's of the wrong culture. Still. Promise of dedication would send a strong message about my good intentions towards them. Anyone appreciates a powerful favor. He gets a weak hook on me, like he's ever going to use it. But it gains progress, so the promise will be official and ceremonious. So you got it. Dead man's hand. A couple of weeks ago, we came across a corpse on the road of what appeared to be a traveling merchant. Judging by his wounds, he was probably killed in a bandit ambush. Although the region I'm traveling in is not as dangerous as other parts, we sometimes do see tragedies like this. We were unable to find anyone who knew him, so we buried him. In my dreams last night, I was burying the merchant's corpse again when his rotting hand grabbed me. Though eerie, he spoke in a polite and calm manner. I know I am dead, but I don't want to lie in a grave out here where the wolves cry. Lift me up out here, my friend, so I'll wander the night till the age's end. When he waved farewell, his hands turned skeletal. The meaning of the dream is clear. The ghost, if that was him, does not wish to be buried, strangely. Should I tell my guard to take the corpse out of the burial site? Although if we... And this was allegedly his name, so... This man was a warrior. Again, allegedly. And we knew his name. Allegedly. Best do what a ghost asks. Expose the corpse to the elements. The ghost blessed you? Maybe? So I gain a blessing of a wandering ghost. Rumor has it this character is blessed by some spirit that assists in an unorthodox way. Huh. Clearly. And the next perk to get is groomed for rule for the sake of my child. Looking for potential ideas, unless I want to go back to start making more money, because again I would love to have the domain limit increase. I'm expected to have a long life, you know, but I'm saving my gold so we can patronize that cave, have another large cave. Famous bard has settled down in Baruka. Though his music and singing is sublime, he refused to perform for the wealthy and powerful, even when offered exorbitant amounts of riches. He refused the invitation from me. Instead, he prefers to entertain the poor and the masses, inspiring and uplifting them. I can understand his reasons, to be honest. Don't worry about that. They may have a different faith, but it makes a little difference. Just save some gold left over, alright? There's room for 2 more holdings. Coming soon, Kumtag and Narubo. deviant. That is so not you. I'm blackmailing you for this. Spouse mediation. Offer your opinion up. Delicate affairs. I've heard you've been focused on to improve the realm's status of neighbors, sister. Arjuna approaches me amicably. Despite the fact that I just blackmailed you, I have taken an interest in these affairs. I happy to offer you my help in gaining Ytarimypoy's trust. We are family. Family? Yeah, we are. But he's from the Fergana, which is not too far from here. Hey, husband, help me out with this. I think I can handle Ytarimypoy. My diplomatic efforts bear fruit. Staying positive. I was idling around my court one day when I heard Ratnasike and Kasa are having a deep conversation. It's important to keep a positive mindset, he says, even if things don't go well. Hope and believing in Siddhartha can still help us achieve anything. But not to the point that one that ignores reality, Kasa counters. Understanding that life doesn't always go our way is important. Wisdom, not positivity, is more important for surviving this world. Wisdom also means affirming ourselves. It means not being a foolish idealist. Don't stay positive for the sake of staying positive. Let me think. Let me think. If we think positively, then anything is possible, so I will have a positive mindset. It's just a slight increase on the much less I was experiencing, including a personal scheme power a bit, since I'm trying to befriend somebody. You stay. After long thinking, I finally decide to invite Lynn to come on tour to one of my estates in Naruba. The estate turned out to be an even better idea than expected. Not did Lynn offer unexpected insight to the matters of the estate, and also kept my mood bright the entire time. I feel like we know each other in ways we did not quite do before. The trip was worth the effort. My cancer just died of a heart failure. So I guess we're not friends then. I understand you. You've become quite an administrator yourself. But I'd rather have somebody that doesn't plan on rebelling or has rebelled against me before. I don't know about you, but for future reference, knowing one day you'll be the next ruler, so it would be wise to befriend you. Why aren't you dead yet? What? Why? My son and heir, Ajasatru, is full of questions. I do my best to encourage his curiosity, but sometimes I cannot help but get exhausted by a constant stream of thoughts and queries. When a mother and father love each other very much. After all, you are an intelligent one, and is fit to sound a body. So I think it's about time that we will patronize a Mogao cave. It's once in a lifetime. I'll be like my father, where he changed his ways, whereas I have been very much virtuous. So, let's go for enlightened beings, to venerate the higher beings, for the 3 jewels. My sister just died. Died of heart failure. Took you long enough, and I lost that stress because she was a rival. So you've seen the text before. So let's have that large cave. It'll be expensive but amazing. If I want to, I could tell him, hey, surrender that title. Although it is considered tyrannical, but it would be most wise to do that at a later time. So we got 20 months, and then we'll have to tell her to get off. The lands will be mine, and then everybody, at least me, to my immediate family, will be all good and happy. I will only have 1 child so far. I wouldn't mind a daughter, but I don't want another son. I think 1 child would be good enough. This is just simply for the sake of stability. Eight months, 16 months. Okay, Baruka first. Oh, that reminds me. I need to keep that lucky coin. And plus, you don't have an antiquarian employed. That's another reason, so get this repaired. Really? You can challenge a child to the board game? I don't think that's how it works. Oh yeah. So not debug more. It's like you can't wager fame. It's a child, but a friendly game. Don't want to make my child stressed off the start. I didn't know you're allowed to do that in this game, but it's still not ideal. It's like, don't jeopardize your child by giving them a stress coping trait to play somebody at a board game with. If I'm going to play a board game with somebody, it's going to be this man I'm befriending soon. The one who will become a ruler soon. But it'll be a long time before that time will come. He's at war, okay. He ain't. He's not a landed character. After learning that Sarah would be attending a dance in the village of Domoko, I decided it would be a perfect occasion to pass by and ensure that I get some face-to-face time with him. The ball was exquisite, and Sarah put on a fine show. Afterward, I told him how impressed I was, and we got to talking. By the time I left, it felt as though we'd known each other for a lifetime already. What a good day. Now we're friends. Made my first friend. But first, deviant lands. I heard that there are lands far away from where I live, where the practice of marriage between siblings is common and not just accepted, but actively embraced and encouraged throughout society, from the highest royalty to the humblest of peasants. Could such communities even exist? If they did, I've yet to meet anyone from such a place in person, or at least anyone whose story I would believe. I'll just say that, even though that's goes up against me being humble. I'll just say this for once. If such people existed, then they're absolutely barbaric. Degenerates. All of them. There are quick ways to lose stress. Such as that board game that we'll start playing soon for the first time in this series. I thought that stuff's only available in the Iberia region because of that cultural tradition. No, it applies to anyone. For those that have the befriend perk. I'm thinking about switching to another lifestyle. I change more lifestyles than I do if, you know. But don't worry, we'll get rid of my other sister soon enough. So, groom to rule. So what you get? 2 more diplomacy. I feel that soon it would be ideal to give him a diplomacy education. And I'll have to get a court tutor as well. Since we're making plenty of fortune again. Alright, cave is completed without any problems along the way. So, job well done. There's your big renown gain. Save that gold, because you're about to fabricate a claim here. Past, present, future. I wonder if people in the past had the same sort of desires and thoughts as I do. And I wonder if people in the future will be the same as me as well. Definitely. At the end of the day, we're all people. What is the meaning of life? Stop right there. Since you have this now, I think it would be ideal to go for scholarship focus, get this, and then that. Go for theology focus since you are virtuous. But I'm still getting the perks that's related to scholarship. Think, 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 think. Ah, yes, the board game. Let's do that for the first time. Hey, what say you? A game of chess. Humble wishes to eager fame. Oh, we're both humble. And he doesn't have any money, obviously. But hey, it's all in good fun, right? Because we gain an opinion no matter if we win or lose. And you know, the loser gets the stress. But I'll be fine. As much as I would like to have a little bit of fame in me, because if I were to win that fame, I would... Well, it says might accept, but will accept. But, again, humility isn't going to do with him, so... I guess we'll just play a friendly game of chess. This is just a demonstration. I never did this before. Even before I started recording this series, I have never played a game of chess, so this is 100% new to me, so... Come on in. For this new year. The beautiful game, chess. Siad takes his seat opposite of me. Our little game of chess is about to begin. And a question frowning tells me exactly how confident my friend is. He goes first, opening with several blandly standing moves. We're neck and neck. Neither of us are even close to victory. Don't feel too bad, soothes my opponent. Voice honey sweet and caustic as sin. Even Mara couldn't follow my moves. See. In chess, martial is countered by intrigue. These are the possible outcomes. A critical success is a colossal amount of score towards winning. Success is some score towards winning. Failure, a few crumbs of score towards winning. Critical failure, absolutely no score towards winning. Intrigue is countered by learning. Or learning is countered by martial. Question frowning. He's a rational follower. He's into the stewardship stuff, which doesn't do around here in chess. Think. Because I'm a martial intensive person. Who's pretty well skilled all around, no matter what. So I will say chess, like war, is all a matter of logistics. After all, she has a background as a logistic. Our match marches on. Sia continuing with several blandly standard moves. Naturally, my techniques cunningly foil my opponent. I'm in the lead for now, though neither of us is even close to victory. I can't just ease up on me. All but screams my opponent, clearly frustrated and unable to find the right words. The way he was saying. Marshmallow makes me unbeatable. I don't know what you're saying, but I feel like you're trying to, get up on me since you're trying to go for intrigue as you are a deceitful person. But I see through your BS. So, guess, got it. Try something else. I mean, there's no indication of progress as compared to, a duel with your opponent. I'll try to hit this again. Our match marches on. Sail continuing obvious trap. My techniques cunningly foil my opponent. So that was a good success. I'm beating him handily. Victory is so close I can taste it. You may have the upper hand for now, observes my opponent. But you'll slip up eventually. They always do. You know what? You'll never see my moves coming. Let's try a different one. I'm not a person of intrigue. Ah! Lose the game. Howling in bestial triumph, leaps to his feet. I have lost? My hand slipped down on my knees, searching for support. Am I bad at chess? I think what I hit is a critical one. Critical failure with no score, and then he made his move, and then he took advantage of that. I could have beaten him. So I lost the match. This was during the sudden death phase. But we are both humble, and since I am both humble and gregarious, I'll just say, well, the better man won here. It was my first time, alright? So he agrees that it was a good game. Yeah, it was. I was beating you, and then you got me at the very end. Can only challenge you again until 4 years. Or anyone for that matter. Again, first time. So I guess you should have stuck with all martial because that's what you're good at. I think he outsmarted me. It was sudden death. So it was not gonna happen. Oh, Arjuna. How could you? It makes you look bad in the eyes of the clergy. But you are the Purohit, so you can get away with things. Okay, here's your dang money. I want you out of this land. I have a legitimate claim over you, and it allows me to revoke without being viewed as a tyrant. Will not accept? That means war. No one's gonna save you now. She's got archers, bowmen, which counters against my skirmishers. Pregnant again. Yep, that's her. Defeated our army. Now we must besiege this area. What has she done to this place? Peasant labor. Shouldn't take too long, hopefully. Bandits running rampant here. Oh, this is obvious. There is one way, because I want him out of there too. It may convince him, so we don't have to beat each other up for it. We know your child is in there. If we take her in, which is imprisoning one of the heirs, then that'll be it. My goodness, everything's normal up there. Oh good, just a hale daughter. Sari. Gotcha. So, here's the deal. You are going to be imprisoned. You lose your title. Because I do have legitimate claims over here. And this is still tyranny. Considerably. Don't worry about it. Revoke that as well. Even though nobody's ever invested in these buildings, and neither will I. It's not something worth holding over for now. So might as well revoke it too. And then him too. Just want you out of my life. And, man, I would have loved to ransom all that gold out of her, but that's not gonna happen. And yes, what I did is considered tyrannical. But if people are gonna hate me for that, then so be it. You know, I wish the same for you. Of course, that depends on his opinion. And plus, do not have the domain size for it unless you switch to... I'm in here. Unless you switch to manage domain, and you get room for one more, and then you will rule all the lands that Father held. So I think it's about time for him to go as well. And if it means war, then so be it. He's likely not going to accept it, so you better raise that army right now and go in after them. Oh no, he thought well. Good. There you go. We solved those issues. And I know everyone calls me tyrant, but I only did it. I did it for the sake of the future. Ajaj Satru will inherit everything. But he should be one for diplomacy, though. Although I'm not particularly skilled in diplomacy. I'm more martial oriented. But I will help him, give him a better education. Oh, and subsequently, since you got a good head on your shoulders as far as intelligence is concerned, you need to have a tutor who can teach you some of the languages that are rather important around here. He's going to be around for a while longer, so make sure he learns East Iranian. It's a rather important language here. Now, you've got some work to do. Staring at stars. From all my evenings watching stars, I've seen my own eyes for what I've only heard of before. Stars move at different speeds and reverse their course at different times, but seemingly large groups, depending on which celestial sphere they belong to. Indeed, with the right calculations, one could even predict their movement. My sister does not approve, of course. My Purohit sister. The disguise be, the celestial realm is only for the Sangha to know. Oh, you're right. I should focus on more earthly matters. I wish to be known as a pious Buddhist. I've done some things that I regret, yes, but we didn't get any benefits from those peoples. So, actually, let me see the East Asian. This is for gifts of prestige and renown. Since you're being a bit diplomatic intensive these days, you should go for East Asians for the first time. Why do I get the impression that each time you do that and it keeps increasing the amount? Well, who knows. Maybe it's because it depends on your income. Now, in particular, I decided to reinforce the East Asian communities in my realm. A lot of these people come from the lands far away, particularly in the Middle Kingdom, which is claimed by many for being a land of justice and learning, one that has no equal among the realms through. Their knowledge and connections to the East will prove advantageous. So let's just hope for some renown, because that's something I've been going for intensely. And now let's bring in the East Asian specialists. Now I've been networking with the local East Asian communities in my realm. I should ask them to help me find talented people from their homelands to come here. From scholars to engineers, strategists to cartographers. There are so many experts on far who I could entice to work for me. So we gain a little bit of renown, while we will gain East Asian specialists, which will definitely help me on plenty of things. Stewardship, learning, reduction of title creation cost, which why would I need to do that? Vassal opinion, mayors, and a bit of popular opinion up. I'm in great need of talented people. In the present era, there are many along the Silk Road who believe the peoples of the Far East to be experts in administration and skilled in fine arts and learning. Perhaps such an assessment is a great exaggeration, based on fanciful tales and questionable stereotypes. There is no doubt that many talented people live in those regions. Anyways, due to my connections with the local East Asian community, I've come into contact with some rather talented individuals with the abilities in a wide variety of fields, ranging from poetry to hydraulics, history, agriculture, military logistics, and more. A number have agreed to work for me in my administration. Their skills will greatly assist me in managing my territories. Remember, your next level isn't going to be until... Oh, it's coming up, actually. We're going to get caravan networks, which means we will have more monthly income, and decision to reinforce relations will last twice as long. So that means you do that in the last 10 years. Does that mean 20 years? Good. Because, again, more income and more possible benefits from these communities. Prosperity through the bow. That's all we care. He's doing fine now. Yeah, you may call me tired, but in a couple of years you'll quickly get over that. But there are ways to reduce monthly tyranny, as you're a bit concerned about it. That's called, which one is it? Oh, here it is. Soon forgiven. That's part of the administrator skill perk tree. To reduce monthly tyranny a little more. But I'm only getting 2 perks in this life for, this is for the sake of my son, and also for our culture. And then perhaps I will finally settle down and work on this. Because I may have reunited these lands again, but I also want Kuśiññe. Unless the second ruler can do that for me, since I hold most of these things, and I cannot usurp that title off of him. Because 1, you only have 2 out of 3 amount of money, and the most important, you cannot usurp a title from someone who considers your faith to be hostile or worse, because those people up there are Manichaeans still, and will remain so. So now they're disconnected from Zhanggai. They're still allied with him. So perhaps we should get pregnant again. My gosh, sister. Feasting along the Silk Road. The local East Asian elites have been most appreciative of my efforts to foster close relations with them. To celebrate a number of recent success, a few of their prominent clans got together and hosted a magnificent feast in my name. It was a great feast, We'll feast on their traditional delicacies famed across the Silk Road, such as boiled lamb and pork, medleys of nuts, and crab apples. A wonderful joyous occasion. So we got some prestige. See too if you can get 2 claims, Karasha and Toksan. That's what I'm willing to spend my money on, since we make a pretty good income. That's good to know. No, they're not in my territory. They're down in Havamna. Now I'm a devoted servant. Ah, crud. Oh, the artifacts. I just remembered. You may not like that whistle, but I'm keeping it. I like that brooch too. Now stop spending so much money. I was considering spending my money on certain activities, but I had to keep those artifacts alive. Alive? You know what I mean. Yeah. So, yeah. We're living a much peaceful time as intended, because we don't want any more of those internal conflicts in my land. Especially if it's ones that I start. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Oh, what happened to your child? Oh, died sickly. Oh, I'm sorry. That's why you want to have another one. Even though... At least my brothers haven't, you know, fornicated yet. Have you? Hashish. Good. None of my brothers have gone into fornicating. Not to mention they all live down in Burma. Go for that. This is only for the sake of my son and heir. No, sir. Hey, you're still here. Good to know. Hey, I know what I'm doing, Dharma. I know what I'm doing. I'm only doing this because what they're laying on is traditional lands of our people. Save your money. Okay, here we go. Okay, as a reminder, so our current income is 8.4. With Kara Networks, it is now 9. It's a small increase, but now we have this, and reinforced relations will last twice as long. So it still has this effect that it will expire in 10 years. And then once we get that, that means it'll be a lot longer lasting. And of course, the next one won't be until this long. And we'll go for a simulation for one. Again, since this is mainly a Silk Road turn-based playthrough, I want to get all of this first. As a sort of a demonstration of what we can be capable of here. That's good. My liege is still intervening in many wars that doesn't concern me. Strange colors. Every now and then, the sky over Urabo turns several colors at once. Unnatural hues of purple, red, green, blue, pink, and more. This lasts for several hours. Such a strange phenomenon has been going on for many days and was witnessed throughout many settlements, as it could be seen for miles and miles, though there was no known effects. Many who witnessed it are bewildered. Neither the local scholars nor Bekos could explain what is going on. Who knows what mysterious forces are at play here? So, that's my plan. Get scientific next, then move out. And since you plan on expanding again, it would be suggestive to go for domain focus rather than wealth. Your wealth is good enough. Focus on domain, just increase your stewardship a little bit more. As you'll start getting all of this, especially when you get to divided attention for increased domain limits, so you can hold all of these territories without any issues. 1 second. There is room for another language. I don't think he needs to know Brahmin. You know, if he wants to learn another language, he'll have to learn it himself. Cursed. Everyone knows that Raktadue can be a randy fellow. After chasing many a blossom, yet he's been complaining about being enthralled by a certain beautiful courtesan, to the point he is afraid she is binding him through dark magic. She cursed me, he claims one day. When I question about it, I'm just a pawn in her game. She bends men's wills for fun and laid a curse on me. I've yet to find a cure. I have to clear my name. I've done things. She'll make me do worse if the law doesn't get me first. What's the matter with you, man? Get a weak hook on him. For what? There's nothing in particular that I would want from him. But I'll have to say this. Get a hold of yourself. She's a girl, not some witch. Don't go crazy. Now he's obsessed with a courtesan to the point where it's become a bit unhealthy for him. Events such as these. Again, as the owner, you get to have these good things. Having all of it sounds like a good idea, but I'd rather take it one by one. And plus, you can't usurp the title off of him, so let's give it another go. Not adjacent to it will take you 3 years. No, just do it. I don't care about the penalties. Even though you're still gonna have to win the war, because you can't take 2 counties at once. You're not at that age yet. By age, I mean the age of the world. So I think it would be wise now to take it, but beware. The strength is similar. Although these are a shadow of their former selves up there. And you have no allies, but let's make one. Hey, Kashgar. Kashya, as they call him. Oh, you will? You desire an alliance? So do I. There's a reason why I want you. Your numbers are good. A little more backup will be appreciated. There. Now don't even think about taking Bauruka back. Right. Let's start. bring them over here. You can call your house member as well if you wish, which don't cost you nothing. Yeah, sure. But I would much prefer them to be over here as well. I'll lead. Glory and fame across the Silk Road. Through my connections with the East Asian elites in my realm, I managed to build a good rapport within their community. Even commoners who share similar ethnic origin as these elites, having migrated here from elsewhere along the Silk Road, are thinking more highly of me than before. I have no doubt people who live in their homelands in the Far East also heard good things about me and my family's rule over these lands. In the long run, this will surely benefit me politically and financially, and earn much honor and acclaim for my dynasty. Let's hope this period of goodwill lasts a while. There's your renown gain. It's already up to 100 now. Can't let them get together. They may win, but we haven't seen those reinforcements, which they should be around there soon. Not in our sight yet, but we're engaging them now. Tosh killed one of their targets, and getting myself involved deeply in the front line of Kalsabal. I find myself concerned as a fray of arrows come flying over the opposition's heads, crashing them out. Amongst the injured, I find myself with an arrow lodged firmly to the side of my eye socket, shocked and stunned, and stumbled back to the rear of my army, partially blinded. I was lucky to survive. At 40 years of age, I'm like my father, one-eyed. Like, at least that increases slight natural dread, but that will not do for those who wish to be attracted to me, but it's alright. As the battle rages on, I realized there were multiple weak points on our front line, which are particularly vulnerable to an enemy spearhead attack. Screaming at my men to cover the softened area. My voice breaks, and I realize they'll not be able to hear me. Quick, I say to the men around me. You need to come with me. I command them and usher them in the direction of the weak spot. As we arrive, the enemy has already begun charging into the vulnerable gap in the line, so I rally the men to brace for the incoming charge. Whilst we hold, I hear an enemy general shouting a muffled command, followed by the groans of enemy footmen. What was that sound? I think before a rain of spears and javelins begins to descend over the shoulders of the enemy push. As my projectiles slam into the enemy around me, one smacks past my head, excruciatingly close to penetrating my skull. As I turn in shock, I see the same spear destined for my head lodged into the chest of a lifeless footman behind me. Jarred and stunned, I wobbled away from the enemy charge in a nauseating mix of fear and shock. That could have been me. That was close. Wait, close. But I feel that I should take a break from such peril. But we need every adventure to get, so I'll just have that bit of a near-death experience. I'll be at risk of further events that may traumatize me further. My goodness, they couldn't have gotten me. Every little bit helps. Come on. Let's take the damn objective. Friendly reinforcements will take a while to be here. Where the hell are you going? The long way around? Are you crazy? Are you in another conflict with somebody else or no? No, they're not. Let's take it a long way around. Great. Hey, where'd you go? Where the are you going? Accomplished commander. Oh, we need someone like you in our ranks. How much? 130. $130. We have your daughter. You better pay up a large amount of money. Actually, it's like you hold one of the heirs, right? What is she the heir of? Because they say you captured one. Well, keep her as a prisoner of war then. But stay here and let your levies be reinforced. As we're trying to figure out where the hell are they going. Toksun is the only area left to take. Start taking this area. A liar's pay. I was shocked when I caught a Satru, a Jaya Satru, excuse me, a Jaya Das Satru, trying to steal from the child chest of the visiting Remoka Dharma. He blamed the game of another child of it, but I could tell he was lying. Lying is not good. You need to be the opposite. Be honest, and you will see others open to you. That is a virtue. You will be a great diplomat one day. I can see it already. He will be just in those affairs. Well, he doesn't have the just trait, so how can you say that? They didn't invest anything here. But take it, Karasher is just only... Whoa, where did... They went the long way round too. They'd really love to do that. God dang it. Why can't they go down regarding supply issues? I'm sure they're interested in taking Karasher back. Then again, my father put me on this throne because he wants me to continue this national liberation of all the Kuśiññe peoples. And that is something that I will fill that task before the end of my life. A paragon of unyielding asceticism. Purohit Arjuna has shown how a disciplined soul can find true peace and clarity through meditation and abstinence. Yeah, right. Despite her illustrious rank, she sustains herself only with the most frugal meals and show her unwavering commitment towards Theravada dogma. Yeah, right. if we want to, we could engage him in combat again, but I don't know what would happen to me, but I don't think it'll be wise to engage him right now. Just stop right there. Do not delay the inevitable. Get your fame, and then we will continue to fabricate the claim, which will be faster now to take Tucson. And now I'm the owner of Crusader, which we now renamed it to Arśi. Secret letter lost. Someone in my realms recently learned one of Arjuna's secrets. Oh, I know her secret. I ain't stupid. He increased his martial again. Okay, so he can be a good diplomat, and he will have the military skill to back it up. I like that. I'm trying to make him into a good person. And of course, it's above my domain limit. So wait until 8 months to get scientific, then we'll go for a domain focus. And that will be the focus that I will keep for the rest of my life. Because I would like to be known as an architect. Here's an idea. What if, whenever he's not busy with his war, he can launch his war to Crusader to fight for me? Kind of like what we did a long time ago. That would be excellent. So Arśi is now the most developed territory we own, but I originally said there's nothing, but they do have fruit orchards. But the domain limit's causing that penalty already. Which we'll soon get above it. And after all it's all said and done, then I will go do some things that will lower my stress. So I lost an eye on combat. I don't have the skills I used to be. You got it. Okay now. Yeah, I declined your guardianship twice. Let me see. Self is fine. I don't know. Frozen pines. I'd wander into a desolate, cold wilderness in my dreams. By my side is Arjuna, whose presence is comforting in this internal labyrinth of snowy conifers and deathless silence. Then sun sets, night begins. Where is Arjuna? Arjuna! I call out. Arjuna! Nothing but internal labyrinth of snowy conifers and deathless silence. I panic. I wander in the pines, desperately looking for my companion. Then light. A light whose source I do not know. A light that does not look like it belongs here. A light that shines in my eyes, which I know prevents me from finding Arjuna. I will find a way through, I exclaim, before I wake up in a sweat. When I tell Arjuna later about the dream, Shelley gives a quizzical smile. Imposter. Recently, I feel like I'm not worthy of a ruler of the Yapkonia of Naruto. Do other rulers doubt themselves as I doubt myself? I try to be a good, temperate Yapka, but my mouth seems to water constantly. Everything is making me hungry. Why am I so damnably uncharacteristically hungry? Damned is the universe, raising one so poor as me to such heights. Oh, don't do that. No need to jeopardize that income. I'm just as good as the rest. I'll find ways to lower my stress. So, first things first. Visit the crescent lake of Don Juan. My first day trip to there. Just for starters. Off to the temples. That's just for starters. Kumtag will be the next place to... No, Kuruba first. And then Kumtag, and then Arśi. There we go. Now it's up. Now you'll get all these good benefits. And we'll get to have a bit of income from them fruit orchards. Making a lot more money than my father could have ever imagined. And we should use that said money to go out on a... Oh. Abstain vices during Vasa. I don't have any vices in me, but I think it would be nice to do that. But nah, wait till later. I think first priority should be to go hunting a bit. Oh, you don't have a roll card for that. But still short of using that. So just go out on a hunt. Which will be hunting over in the oasis of Arśi. Is true to the matter of the poor, but as the wolf flees in panic from foraging peasants, I feel my patience wearing thin. Surely there must be better things to do in Arśi than picking roots and mushrooms. We don't need to make these people mad than there needs to be, so I would say a generous donation should keep them away long enough. Don't worry about that being in debt for just a short while, and more so now. Running out of good talented people these days. His learning got up a bit. It'll be easier for him to learn languages if he wishes. If I can't befriend him, I can at least try to sway him. Because he's a very shy person. Not to mention an old drunk. Whereas he's one of my fewest friends. We'll end this episode soon. I gained a favor hook on this man, which I don't really need right now. Again, Arjuna. Since you're 45, this is going to be our last child. Oh, and he's frail. Whereas for me, I'm starting to get a little old. And you're still fine, surprisingly. So it's a wonder how my daughter's the one that's hale, whereas my son is hale but also intelligent, and it really helps with the monthly lifestyle experience. I could see him as being a master diplomat in the future. And with that, we'll end the episode on that note. Well, actually, one more thing. There was commotion among the children today. Tarmac Andre was tempted to preach among his fellow youngsters and become a target of a small fight. Ajata Sastru intervened and managed to stop the fight before anyone got hurt. Remaining calm in the face of pressure is incredibly important. That makes him more virtuous. Adds diplomacy a bit up, but also he'll know what schemes may come up against. He'll be a very virtuous man. And who knows, in the next episode, maybe there's a chance that we might give him a third trait that is considered virtuous. So what are we missing? So he's honest, he's calm. Now if he's either generous or temperate. But since I'm the one that's raising him, I hope there's a chance for me to give him temperance. Give him moderation, and therefore you will have the most liked man, the most virtuous man that the realms ever have. Even though he's not really a religious man, he's more into diplomacy, but he knows that the things to do is virtuous to the clergy. The clergy will respect him. And he will use his diplomatic savvy to solve whatever issues, and he'll be owner of all the lands. But that's only an if, and that is a big if. If my son, if he can increase his stewardship skill just a little bit, then he can do all this. Gain a little bit of stress. Oh, crud. Shouldn't have done that. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll end the episode on that note. And the next episode, well, who knows what it could be like, but I will say that, yes, we've united all the lands, but not everything is fully under control yet. We'll get Kumtag and then eventually Arshi in the control. And then we wait for the truce to expire in 3 years' time, and we'll get one last piece of Takarian territory, which I believe you should be. No. You should be. Start the conversions to get Manichaeism out of our hair, basically. And among other things. So I hope you tune into the next episode. But until then, so long for now.